Hey everyone, welcome back to Literate Lens. I'm so glad you're here today because we're diving into one of the most controversial, eye-opening, and honestly kind of dark books you'll ever encounter. We're talking about The 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene. Now before we jump in, if you love getting these deep insights from powerful books that can actually change how you see the world, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming on this channel. All right, so let me paint you a picture. Imagine you're walking into a room. Maybe it's your office, maybe it's a family gathering, or maybe it's just hanging out with friends. And you notice something. There's always that one person who seems to get what they want. They don't raise their voice, they don't create drama, but somehow everyone listens to them. Everyone respects them. Have you ever wondered how that works? Well, Robert Greene spent years studying history, reading about kings and queens, politicians, con artists, and even celebrities to figure out the hidden rules of power that have been used for thousands of years. So the story begins in the courts of ancient Rome, in the palaces of Renaissance Italy, in the boardrooms of modern corporations. Greene noticed patterns. He noticed that whether you're a peasant trying to survive or a CEO trying to dominate your industry, the same principles apply. And here's the thing that makes this book so fascinating and a little unsettling. These laws work regardless of whether you're a good person or not. They're amoral. They're just tools, and that's exactly why you need to know them, because other people are already using them on you. Let's start with something that might blow your mind. Greene says, never outshine the master. Picture this. You're working at a company. You're brilliant. You're talented. You have amazing ideas. You think the best strategy is to show everyone how smart you are, right? Wrong. Here's what happens in real life. There was this guy in history named Nicolas Fouquet. He was the finance minister to King Louis XIV of France. Fouquet was so proud of his success that he threw this absolutely magnificent party. He built a palace that was more beautiful than the king's own palace. He wanted everyone to see his greatness. And you know what happened? The king felt threatened, felt overshadowed, and Fouquet ended up in prison for the rest of his life. The lesson? Make your boss look good. Make them feel like they're the star, because the moment they feel you're a threat, game over. Now here's where it gets really interesting. Greene talks about how you should always say less than necessary. Think about the most powerful people you know, or the most mysterious people. They don't ramble. They don't over-explain. There's this incredible power in silence. When you talk too much, you reveal your plans. You show your hand. You give people ammunition to use against you. But when you stay quiet, when you're mysterious, people fill in the blanks themselves. They project power onto you. It's like that friend who barely posts on social media, but when they do, everyone pays attention. Scarcity creates value. And speaking of scarcity, let me tell you about another law that's pure gold. Always make people come to you, never chase. This is about setting the frame, about being the prize. Think about dating for a second. When you're constantly texting someone, constantly available, constantly chasing, what happens? They lose interest. But the person who has their own life, their own mission, who makes others work to be in their presence, they become magnetic. It's the same in business, in friendships, in every interaction. When you chase, you give away your power. When you make them come to you, you're in control. Now, Greene drops this bomb that made me really uncomfortable at first. Use other people's work to build your reputation. Ouch, right? But wait, hear me out. This isn't about stealing credit in a shady way. It's about being smart. Think about how Steve Jobs built Apple. He didn't invent every single technology himself. He brought together brilliant engineers, designers, and thinkers, and he synthesized their work into something revolutionary. The smartest people don't try to do everything themselves. They build teams. They leverage other people's strengths, and yes, they take the credit as the leader. Is it fair? Maybe not always, but it's real.
Here's another one that hit different. Court attention at all costs. In our world today, with social media, with everyone fighting for eyeballs, this law is more relevant than ever. Greene says it doesn't matter if the attention is good or bad initially. What matters is that you're not invisible. You know how some celebrities seem to always be in the news, always creating buzz? That's not an accident. They understand that obscurity is worse than controversy. Now, I'm not saying go out and do something stupid for attention, but I am saying that if you have something valuable to offer, you need to learn how to stand out. You need to learn how to be seen. Let me share something that really changed my perspective. Get others to do the work for you, but always take the credit. I know, it sounds terrible, but let me frame it differently. Great leaders inspire others to contribute to a vision, and then they take responsibility for the outcome, good or bad. Think about a film director. Hundreds of people work on a movie, but the director gets the credit because they held the vision. They made it happen. This law is really about understanding that leadership means orchestrating efforts and being the face of success. Now here's a law that's pure strategy. When asking for help, appeal to people's self-interest, never to their mercy. This one's huge. People don't help you because they feel sorry for you. They help you when they see what's in it for them. Let's say you want someone to mentor you. Don't go to them saying, "Please help me, I'm struggling." Go to them saying, "I've been following your work, I'm impressed by what you've accomplished, and I think I could learn from you while also helping you with some of the grunt work you might need done." See the difference? You're framing it as a mutual benefit, not a charity case. Greene also talks about something called social proof. Act like a king to be treated like one. This is about the energy you bring into a room. If you walk in slouched, apologetic, unsure of yourself, people will treat you accordingly. But if you walk in with confidence, with self-respect, with the belief that you deserve to be there, people mirror that back to you. It's not about being arrogant. It's about valuing yourself so much that others have no choice but to value you too. There's this really dark but fascinating law. Play to people's fantasies. People don't want harsh truths. They want hope. They want escape. They want to believe in something magical. This is why movies make billions, why self-help books sell millions of copies, why people follow charismatic leaders even when logic says they shouldn't. If you can tap into what people dream about, if you can show them a vision of a better life, a better version of themselves, you have incredible power. Just look at how brands like Apple don't sell phones, they sell a lifestyle, an identity. Now let's talk about something that might save you from a lot of pain. Keep your hands clean. Greene explains this through countless historical examples. The most powerful people never do their own dirty work. They have others do it. This way, if something goes wrong, they have plausible deniability. Think about it in your own life. When there's a difficult conversation to be had, when there's a tough decision that might make you unpopular, sometimes it's smarter to have someone else deliver the message. It protects your image. It keeps you above the drama. Here's a law that's all about emotional intelligence. Discover each person's thumbscrew. Everyone has a weakness, an insecurity, something they're sensitive about. Now, this can be used for manipulation, sure, but it can also be used for good. When you understand what motivates someone, what they fear, what they desire, you can communicate with them more effectively. You can help them better. You can negotiate better. It's really about paying attention, being observant, and understanding human nature. Let me hit you with something that's super relevant in today's cancel culture world. Crush your enemy totally. Greene argues that leaving enemies wounded but alive means they'll come back to hurt you later. This sounds brutal, but think about it practically. If you're going to compete, compete to win completely. If you're going to cut someone out of your life, do it cleanly and finally. Half measures create lingering problems. It's like pulling off a Band-Aid. Quick and complete is less painful than slow and partial. Now here's a law that successful people live by. Use absence to increase respect and honor. When you're always available, always around, people take you for granted. But when you withdraw, when you're selective about when you show up, your presence becomes more valuable. This is why exclusive clubs work, why limited edition products sell out, why that friend who's always busy somehow seems more important than the one who's always free.
Greene talks about controlling the options. Get others to play with the cards you deal. This is about framing. In any negotiation, any decision, if you can control what the options are, you win regardless of which option they choose. It's like when parents give a toddler a choice. Do you want to wear the red shirt or the blue shirt? Either way, the kid is getting dressed. That's power. That's controlling the frame. There's this incredibly tactical law, play the perfect courtier. This means being politically savvy, reading the room, knowing when to speak and when to shut up, complimenting the right people, avoiding unnecessary conflicts. In every workplace, in every social group, there's politics. You can either pretend it doesn't exist and suffer the consequences, or you can learn to navigate it skillfully. And the people who navigate it best, they rise to the top. Let me share something that might protect you. Recreate yourself. Don't let others define you. Don't get boxed into one identity. The most powerful people constantly reinvent themselves. Look at Madonna. Look at David Bowie. Look at how they kept evolving. In your own life, this means not being trapped by what you were yesterday. You can change your style, your interests, your career path. You're not a tree. You can move. Here's a law that's pure strategy. Keep your hands clean. Wait, I mentioned this before, but there's another angle. It's also about reputation management. In today's world where everything is recorded, where one mistake can go viral, you have to be so careful about what you're associated with. Choose your battles wisely. Don't get dragged into other people's drama. Protect your name like it's your most valuable asset, because it is. Greene drops this wisdom. Enter action with boldness. Hesitation creates gaps, and gaps create problems. When you commit to something, commit fully. Half-hearted efforts not only fail more often, but they also make you look weak. Think about when you've seen someone pitch an idea nervously versus someone who pitches with absolute conviction. Who gets the funding? Who gets the support? The bold one. Every single time. Now, here's something counterintuitive. Plan all the way to the end. Most people plan the beginning and middle, but they don't think through the end game. What happens after you achieve your goal? What are the consequences? What's next? Chess players don't just think about the next move, they think 5, 10 moves ahead. Your life deserves the same level of strategic thinking. Let me tell you about a law that saved me personally. Make your accomplishments seem effortless. Nobody wants to hear about how hard you worked, how much you struggled. They want to see the result. They want it to look like magic. This is why social media is so misleading, right? People post their highlight reel, not their behind-the-scenes struggle. And while that's not always healthy, there's a strategic lesson here. Let your work speak for itself. Don't over-explain. Don't seek sympathy for the effort. Greene talks about controlling the options in another way too. Create compelling spectacles. We live in a visual world. A good story, a powerful image, a memorable moment is worth more than 1,000 logical arguments. This is why TED Talks work, why advertising uses emotional imagery, why movements have symbols and slogans. If you can create something that captures imagination, you capture minds. Here's a tough one. Think as you like, but behave like others. This means don't be unnecessarily contrarian. Don't alienate people by flaunting how different you are. Blend in when necessary, build trust, and then when you have influence, you can start changing things from within. Revolutionary ideas need to be packaged in acceptable ways initially, or they get rejected immediately.
Let me share something about timing. Stir up waters to catch fish. Sometimes peace and stability don't serve you. Sometimes you need to create a little chaos, a little uncertainty, because in confusion, there's opportunity. When everything is calm and settled, the power structures are firmly in place. But when things are shaken up, smart people can rise quickly. Now, I'm not saying create problems for no reason, but I am saying don't be afraid of change and uncertainty. Learn to thrive in it. Greene teaches this: despise the free lunch. Anything that comes too easily is usually a trap or has strings attached. When someone offers you something for nothing, be suspicious. What do they really want? What's the catch? The most valuable things in life cost something, whether it's money, time, or effort. And there's actually power in paying your way, because then you owe nothing to anyone. Here's one that might save your career. Avoid stepping into a great man's shoes. Don't try to be the successor to a legend. Don't try to fill shoes that are too big. Create your own path instead. This is why so many sequels to great movies fail, why children of famous people struggle. The comparison is crushing. Better to do something different, something that's uniquely yours. Now, strike the shepherd and the sheep will scatter. This is about understanding power structures. Every group has key people holding it together. If you want to disrupt a competitor, don't attack everyone. Figure out who the leaders are, who the connectors are, and focus there. It's efficient and effective. Let me tell you about working on the hearts and minds of others. Logic doesn't change people's minds. Emotion does. If you want to persuade someone, you need to appeal to their feelings, their desires, their fears. Facts matter, but stories matter more. This is why the best teachers use examples, why the best marketers use emotional advertising, why the best leaders inspire rather than just instruct. Here's a law that might make you uncomfortable. Disarm and infuriate with the mirror effect. When someone attacks you, don't attack back the way they expect. Mirror their behavior back to them or do the exact opposite. It throws them off balance. If they're aggressive, be calm. If they're trying to manipulate you, play dumb. When people can't predict your response, they lose their power over you. Greene says, preach the need for change, but never reform too much at once. People hate drastic change. Even when they say they want revolution, what they really want is gradual improvement. This is why successful leaders talk about change, but implement it slowly. They make people feel like things are evolving while maintaining enough familiarity that no one panics. Now here's pure gold. Never appear too perfect. People don't trust perfection. They relate to flaws. They connect with vulnerability. This is why the most beloved celebrities are the ones who show their human side, why the best brands acknowledge their mistakes, why the most respected leaders admit when they don't know something. Strategic vulnerability is powerful. Let me share something tactical. Do not go past the mark you aimed for. Know when to stop. Know when you've won. Greed destroys more success than failure ever could. There are so many examples of people who had everything, pushed for more, and lost it all. Victory has its own moment, and you need to recognize it and stop pushing. Greene teaches, assume formlessness. Don't be predictable. Don't get stuck in patterns. The moment people can predict you, they can control you. This is why the best fighters change their style, why successful companies pivot, why interesting people keep surprising you. Adaptability is survival, and unpredictability is power.
So here's what I want you to understand as we wrap this up. These 48 laws aren't rules you must follow. They're observations about how power actually works in the real world. Some of them will resonate with you. Some will make you uncomfortable, and that's okay. The point isn't to become a manipulative sociopath. The point is to open your eyes. Because right now, whether you realize it or not, these dynamics are playing out around you every single day. Your boss might be using some of these laws on you. Your friends might be using them. That person on social media who seems to have everything figured out, they're probably using several of these principles. And if you don't understand the game, you're going to keep wondering why some people seem to get ahead while you're stuck. But here's the thing I love about this book and why I wanted to share it with you today on Literate Lens. Knowledge is power. Just by understanding these laws, you level up. You start seeing patterns. You start recognizing manipulation when it happens to you. You start making more strategic decisions instead of just reacting emotionally to everything. And look, you don't have to use all 48 laws. You don't have to become some power-hungry villain, but you can take the ones that align with your values and use them ethically. You can make yourself less available to create more impact. You can learn to control your emotions better in negotiations. You can become more strategic about your career moves. You can protect yourself from people who might try to take advantage of you. The world is competitive. It's not always fair. And while we can work to make it better, we also have to survive and thrive in it as it exists today. These laws give you tools. They give you awareness. They give you a fighting chance. So here's my challenge for you. Pick 2 or 3 of these laws that really resonated with you and try applying them this week. See what happens. Notice the dynamics around you with fresh eyes. And most importantly, use this knowledge responsibly, because power without wisdom is just destruction. If you found value in this deep dive, if this opened your mind even a little bit, do me that favor I asked for at the beginning. Hit that subscribe button for Literate Lens. We're building a community here of people who want to learn, who want to grow, who want to understand the world at a deeper level. Every week, I'm bringing you insights from the most powerful books that can actually change your life. Don't miss out. Drop a comment below and tell me which law surprised you the most, or which one you think is most relevant to your life right now. I read every single comment and I love hearing your perspectives. Until next time, keep reading, keep learning, and remember, Knowledge is the ultimate power. This is Literate Lens, and I'll see you in the next one.